Okay, this is Mike Afflerbach with WNOS, New Bern News Talk
Hi,
Radio
everybody.
Station.
Just wanted to amplify a couple of things I think that were just brought up in the previous grouping. Colleen said something interesting, I think, about social media, which is that it's free, and that's true, but it also costs you, and it costs you in your time and your energy, and as everyone's been talking about so far, the more you put into it, the more successful it's going to be. So, while it doesn't cost you any dollars, it's going to be a lot of effort, but it's going to pay off. And you also have to find some time to respond thoughtfully to people, and not just as soon as you get something, respond to it, because that can be dangerous as well, as has also been pointed out. I often think that it's most important when somebody takes objection to something that you do on social media, either or by email, that so many times it's tempting to write back and say, you don't understand, you got it wrong, blah, blah, blah. But, more often than not, it's probably better to wait a couple of hours or maybe until the next day. And at that point, both of you will have a different frame of mind, and hopefully that's going to be more constructive. Because way too often, people create problems for themselves by mouthing off. Social media isn't really a new construct. It really is like word of mouth, but it allows you to do so, using the internet, which is relatively new, but now we're able to go around and have word of mouth conversations with people all over the place, and people we don't even know. Really what it is in that case is a force multiplier, is what I like to think of it. So you can then use Twitter or Facebook or whatever else it is, Instagram, but it has to be magnifying something that you're already doing, which is marketing your business or your cause or whatever it is. So if you think about it, then your other media communications are important as well, as Don was mentioning at the newspaper, or whether it's us on the radio, or whether it's somebody on TV. In every case, you've got whatever the message is that you're trying to get across, and you're trying to establish a certain amount of credibility as well, as an expert, as somebody who knows what you're talking about theoretically. And to do so, you need to take advantage of all of those different places to put out your brand and let people know about what it is you're doing. And so that's sort of the force multiplier effect. If you just read about it in the newspaper or you just hear about it in the radio, well, you think, okay, that's something. But then if you log on to Facebook and you see some more information coming from the same source, and then you see something on Instagram or you see something on Twitter, and it may not be that you're signed up with these people. It's even better if it's more of a, kind of generic sense of, somebody and they're posting about something, some sort of event going on. It's a George Washington visit and this is happening. And, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's another form of credibility. Reading about it in the newspapers, another form, hearing about it, Wendy and what's going on in New Bern now. So every time it hits another time in your brain, it becomes more of a real event. And when it comes time to decide what you're going to do this weekend, you can say, well, this is, these are the options and this is what I'm going to do. So using these things as a force multiplier and planning them out well so that, you don't have to necessarily curate 5 or 6 different kinds of social media. You don't have to log on to Facebook. You can log on to Twitter or whatever it is. If you're smart and you set up a good system, you can put out the message once and it can post to your website, it can go to Twitter, it can do all these things. So I'll leave that for the people who are the later on in the afternoon who talk about the social media tools, but a lot of that stuff is out there, and that's going to be taking your message and then multiplying it out. And then again, by virtue of the other people sharing the information that you have, it goes even more to more people and makes your message more credible, whatever it is. So from a radio standpoint, and from I think I probably can speak for Don as well, from a newspaper standpoint, we're all going to be working together. The important thing that we try to provide with you is to distill your message. What is it you're trying to get across? And then let us be part of those force multipliers. A good resource is Wendy and New Bern Now and what we're all doing here. It's one of the most important things about how we've gotten together here, and one of the things that I really enjoy, one of the things why we've partnered with New Bern Now specifically is it's much easier. In the past, we get news releases all the time. In the old days, we got faxes. But, we get news releases, we get emails, we get things in the mail. Please promote this, please do this. And we do a lot of that stuff, but what I felt was a much more useful thing for everybody is that I said, why don't we work with New Bern Now, have them, they've already got all the connections. At the time it was a quarterly publication, and as it was mentioned, we've really come a long way here, and it's been very helpful. But as long as they're compiling all this stuff, let's do that. They're already meeting with the people, they're already getting the message, and while they're meeting with those people, they can record that, and we can put that kind of thing on the air. So there's a lot of different ways, but as far as I'm concerned, the number one place to go is to Laura and to Wendy and New Bern Now, and then from there, that's an excellent place to have your message catapulted out. Because as most of you are probably aware, every day, 5 o'clock, on the nose, boom, I get an email in my box from New Bern Now telling me something new about it, something that's going on. And that, along with the website, and events like this, and the quarterly print edition, and all the other stuff, that's another way of doing force multiplication of whatever it is you're looking for. So.
I just want to thank Mike, because we've been doing this with you since 2012. He's taught us how to actually record and edit, and now we can do it over the phone, so you don't have to leave your office, we don't have to tote all this equipment with us, so I really appreciate you letting us do that.
It's worked out really well for everybody. So.